Hello and welcome to Buddhist Store Global's Weekly News Highlight. I'm Dr. Justin Whitaker, Senior Correspondent for BDG. This week we highlight the news that Indonesia is aiming to promote Borobudur as a global Buddhist travel destination. We'll look at some recent BDG news and features on Buddhism in Borobudur and Indonesia more broadly, but first the news. Highlighting the importance of religious harmony in Indonesia, the Indonesian government has drawn up an initiative to promote the ancient Mahayana Buddhist temple Borobudur as a global Buddhist tourism destination. The project is aimed at attracting domestic and international visitors in order to promote a more moderate face for religion in Indonesia, and possibly avoiding a similar fate to Afghanistan's Bamiyan Buddhas, which were destroyed by the Taliban in March of 2001. Borobudur, located on the island of Java, is one of the world's largest Buddhist structures. Largely built in the 9th century during the Sailendra dynasty, the structure exhibits many conventions of Gupta-influenced architecture and serves as an example of India's influence in the region. The temple is situated on a hilltop with sweeping views of lush green plains below and distant hills. Borobudur was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1991. During a large-scale renovation or restoration project undertaken in 1985, Islamic extremists detonated 11 bombs on the historic site, destroying 9 stupas. Archaeologist Chandir Ashari from the University of Indonesia said the local community was concerned that Borobudur might once again become a target for extremists. Indonesia's Minister for Religious Affairs stated that as an important site respected by Buddhists, the Indonesian government was studying how to promote Buddhist ceremonies at Borobudur with the goal of attracting Buddhists from around the world. Professor Greg Barton, chair of the Global Islamic Politics at Australia's Deakin University, praised the initiative, noting that Indonesia was in a strong position to strengthen religious plurality in the nation and beyond. Buddhist Store Global has reported on Buddhism in Indonesia many times over the years. Despite only having a tiny minority of Buddhists in the country, comprising less than 1% of the total population according to 2018 statistics, the country is an important place for the history of Buddhism, particularly due to Borobudur. Thanks to our past coverage, it should be clear that these plans might not come to fruition in the near future. In 2015, we reported on plans that were underway to restore the ancient temple site as a hub for global Buddhist tourism. As we noted then, Borobudur is reputed to be the largest Buddhist temple in the world. It was constructed in 3 tiers, a pyramidical base with 5 concentric square terraces, a cone-shaped trunk with 3 circular platforms, and a stupa at the top. The walls and railings are decorated with fine low reliefs, while the central dome is surrounded by 72 open-work stupas, each containing a statue of the Buddha. The temple is decorated with over 2,600 relief panels and 504 Buddha statues in total. The temple compound includes 2 smaller temples directly to the east of Borobudur, Mendut Temple, which features a depiction of the Buddha accompanied by 2 bodhisattvas, and the smaller Pawan Temple. The 3 temples together represent 3 phases in the attainment of nirvana. In 2017, we again reported on plans to boost spiritual tourism at Borobudur. At the time, the Tidar Heritage Foundation organized a special cultural program which officials expressed hope would help the UNESCO World Heritage Site become as relevant a religious destination as Jerusalem or Rome, and make it instrumental in promoting peace and interfaith harmony around the world. The event was held near the Borobudur temple and attended by representatives from embassies including Australia, China, Croatia, Germany, Hungary, Lebanon, Mongolia, Oman, and the Philippines, who were treated to a series of cultural performances themed around the Javanese folktale of Bronto Nirmoy, a holy man from Mount Tidar who, legend holds, spread teachings of spiritualism, peace, and harmony that transcended race, culture, and religious differences. Meanwhile, our occasional contributor Maximilian Nilsson Ladner has written 2 exceptional feature articles that dig into the history of Buddhism in Indonesia. In the first article, Rediscovering an Ancient Heritage in Indonesia, he covers the broad history of Buddhism in Indonesia, particularly on the island of Lombok, to the east of Bali. As Max writes, unbeknown to even most Lombok locals, the island is home to an estimated 10 to 20,000 Buddhists. This Buddhist community is concentrated primarily in the mountains of northern Lombok, having isolated themselves there to avoid pressure to convert following the gradual Islamization of Indonesia from the 12th century onward. Although the community is primarily ethnically Sasak, many trace their heritage to Java, their ancestors having fled Java to avoid conversion to Islam. While indigenous Indonesian Buddhists are not unheard of in Indonesia, especially on Java, these are the result of a minor wave of conversions in the 1960s. However, the Buddhists of Lombok, as they will proudly tell anyone who asks, have been continually Buddhist for more than a millennium. In a second feature, Nilsson Ladner introduces us to Mahabhikshu Ashin Jinarakita, the father of modern Indonesian Buddhism, who lived from 1923 to 2002. He tells us about both this famous monk and the major 20th century developments of Buddhism in Indonesia. Jinarakita, Max writes, is universally recognized today as being responsible for the revival of Indonesian Buddhism that took place in the 1950s and 1960s, even by Indonesian Buddhist organizations that do not trace their origin to him. Indonesian Buddhism today is shaped as much by Jinarakita's successes as by his failures. His life work was colored by 2 visions that made his propagation of the Dharma in Indonesia unique: that of the Indonesianization of Buddhism and of the organizational unity of the Buddhist community in Indonesia. Be sure to check out both of these articles linked in the description below, and follow Buddhist Door Global for updates on this and related news stories. Let us know what you think about Buddhism in Indonesia in the comments below. And as always, be sure to check out our website, BuddhistDoor.net, for more on this story, as well as other news and features about Buddhism around the world.